about putting it on one of our CDs. So that may happen in the future. But I think that's the first time I've ever played that song in public. I'm getting a lot of firsts tonight. Probably a lot of lasts. Well, when I was living in Nashville, I got to spend some time on Music Row, and you know, it was weird to see somebody's big tour bus parked at a studio, and you know, when they were recording during their downtime or taking a break, they would, you know, spend their time in the bus, and just, you know, just a couple blocks over, you'd see a guy with a guitar and his case open, and you know, it looked like he was just death on the cracker. And so you saw both ends of the spectrum just within a couple of blocks, and it was kind of, you know, neat thing, amazing thing, you know. There was a songwriter about the time we moved up there, and his name was Skip Ewan, and he wrote a song about a fellow that was homeless and lived in Nashville, and it was a true story. It's called The Gospel According to Luke. And I hope some of you remember. He was an old man living and making his way. He was dirty and ragged, and he needed shade. His home was an alley off Faith Avenue. If you had a minute or an hour or two, he'd tell you the gospel according to Luke. Luke carried his Bible in a crown royal bag, wiped off his brow with an old dirty rag. He'd tell you straight out just the way he believed. He said faith in the good Lord is all that you need. I remember the morning he first preached to me. He said, give to your brother if he is in need. Offer up thanks for the gifts you receive. There's treasures in heaven for the generous few. That was the gospel according to Luke. So I bought him breakfast at the Daylight Cafe. Biscuits and gravy, hot coffee and egg. He was hungry and ragged, hadn't eaten in days. I was the one there who felt out of place. As he folded his hands, bowed his head and said grace. A week ago Wednesday, I saw him again, downtown at the Mission, surrounded by friends. He was handing out change he collected that week. He said, you boys might need this a lot more than me. I try hard to practice the words that I preach. He said, give to your brother if he is in need. Offer up thanks for the gifts you receive. There's treasures in heaven for the generous few. That was the gospel according to Luke. He was an old man living and making his way. He was dirty and ragged, and he needed a shave. His home was an alley off Faith Avenue. If you had or an hour or two, he'd tell you the gospel according to Luke. last 5 years I was in Nashville. I lucky enough to get a job working for Reba McEntire. And I like to say that if I was, on her writing staff or, playing her band or whatever, but I kept grounds and security at her estate. But I got to see her like nobody else got to see her. And I saw her in the mornings when she would just get up. And I know one morning I was, one of the first things I would do is every morning I would go up to the house and I'd get the trash away from the house. We had a golf cart. And there was a little kitchen window. As I pulled up in the golf cart, she was pouring coffee, and I saw her through the kitchen window. And she had just gotten out of bed and had no makeup on. And my mouth dropped open. She was a homely-looking woman. And I got to see her like that. And that's how she looked. Poor Marvel. But people would used to, there was fans all the time in front of the house, and they'd ask me, "How's Reba? How's she really like?" So I had this pet thing I would say it was a stamp slogan. I'd say, "Well, she's as country as pinto beans and cornbread," and everybody would understand then. Well, I don't know if it got back to her or not, but one day she was at the house and she decided to cook lunch for all of us. And so it was pinto beans and cornbread. For lunch. And cornbread liked a little bit to be desired. But I ate it. It was Reba McEntire's cornbread. But I thought I was moving to Nashville to make it big in Nashville, and I didn't know that I was moving there to meet this guy right there on Reba's place. They were building a horse barn, and they had hired this guy as a painter, and he never had another job working for somebody else. It's the only job he'd ever had working for somebody else, and he'd always worked for himself as a painter. But we met, and this guy. I've always had a relationship with the Lord, and I always thought, man, there's got to be more to it than what I'm being told. And I had a hungry heart, and the Lord knew that, and He put me with this guy right there on Reba McEntire's estate, and this guy opened up things to me. Anyway, I met God at Reba's, and everything else started, just failing in comparison. And I was in Reba's kitchen one morning, and she said, "Mark, we're getting ready to go in the studio. Do you have anything you want to throw in with us?" I said, "Well, not really." I said, "I've got about an album's worth of gospel material I've written." And she said, "Well, have you got it ready so we can go shop you a deal?" And I said, "Well, I don't think that's what I want to do anymore." And she, her mouth dropped open then. But, and I think about it, and I thought, God, I walked away from an opportunity. Reba McEntire was going to shop me a record deal, and I walked away from it. And I'm glad I did, I'm glad I did. But anyway, I ended up giving her 3 songs that she published through her. She's got a Starstruck Angel publishing company. It's a gospel Christian publishing company. And she ended up publishing 3 of my songs. So this is one.
Mighty winds blow down that lead us to our knees. It is His mercies that leave us still at ease. The flesh may look and say God's wrath is coming to fall, when it's nothing but the winds of love blowing on us all. We will seek shelter till those mighty winds blow down. soul to pay. So out of his wisdom and his love he strikes the